Some crimes are planned, some are personal, and then there are those that just happen without warning. Here, we examine the facts, the motives, and the moments that led to tragedy. You're watching Lovelace Chronicles. Now let's get right into it. When people talk about danger, they usually imagine something personal, a grudge, a confrontation, a warning sign. But some of the most terrifying violence has no reason, no history, no motive you can understand. At 3 a.m. on April 4th, 2023, in Atlanta, a 21-year-old entrepreneur named Cameron Olivia Price sat in the passenger seat of a black Cadillac Escalade after a fun filled night out with her boyfriend. And within seconds, her life was taken. The man accused of killing her had never met her, never spoken to her, didn't even know her name. He saw her car drive past, turned to his friends, and said just only two words: "Watch this." This is the story of Cameron Olivia Price and the chilling truth behind what happened to her. And by the end of this video, you understand why her case has haunted so many people. Because it could happen to anyone. Before we talk about what happened in Atlanta, we need to talk about who Cameron was. Because Cameron's story isn't just about how she died, it's about what she built in only 21 years. Cameron Olivia Price was born July 2001, in Lancaster, South Carolina, a small town where people don't just know your name, they know your family, your character, your reputation. The people closest to Cameron all described her the same way: bright, driven, and deeply kind. Her parents, Jesse and Katron Price, later created an acronym for her name: captivating, ambitious, modest, energetic, radiant, optimistic, and noble. And if you knew her, you didn't hear those words and think, "That sounds nice." You heard those words and thought, "That sounds exactly like her." At an age when most people are still trying to figure out what they want, Cameron was already executing. At 18, she passed her state board and became a licensed hairstylist. But she didn't just stop at doing hair. Cameron started building a brand. By 21, she was the CEO of her own product line, Camo Lace Adhesive, a specialized adhesive for lace front wigs. She worked at a boutique in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and built a reputation as someone who didn't just style hair. She specialized in a natural looking lace work that required patience, precision, and real talent. But what really separated Cameron was professionalism. In the beauty industry, clients often have stories about being counseled on, being told to come in at a certain time, then being stood up. And Cameron knew that. There's a clip that captures her mindset perfectly. She told people directly, "I'm not one of them stylists, and I stand on that." She meant it. Her clients vouched for her. She showed up. She was consistent, and people trusted her. That trust, that reputation, is what made her special. Cameron's impact wasn't just business. She mentored aspiring cosmetology students, teaching them how to build a clientele, how to handle difficult clients, and how to stay professional. She also spoke at local school events, encouraging students to chase their goals and not just dream. She encouraged them to plan, to execute, to build. But one detail says everything about who she was. Cameron quietly offered freestyling services for students who couldn't afford prom hair. She didn't post it for applause. She didn't turn it into content. She just made sure someone felt beautiful when it mattered. She was also extremely close with her sister, the kind of bond where you can communicate without words, where someone else's success feels like your own. And just days before her death, Cameron talked to her father about the future. She had a dream, and it wasn't just about renting a chair. It was about opening her own salon, her own space, her own environment to create opportunities for other young stylists.
West Atlanta near downtown. We first brought this to you on Channel 2 Action News this morning. Investigators say someone shot a woman in her car. As Channel 2 Steve Gelbach tells us, it happened as she was leaving a nightclub.
Investigators worked two crime scene, one down on the interstate, another here at this intersection of Pryor and Fulton Street, where the shooting actually took place, and someone shot into the victim's SUV. This may have all started not far from here at a well-known night spot. Bullet holes and shattered glass through the windows show where the silver Cadillac Escalade was shot up. Atlanta police got the call of the person shot on the side of the downtown connector just north of Fulton Street. Officers arrived to find the passenger shot, young woman in her early 20s, critically injured. The man driving had only minor injuries.
She was the passenger. The driver was also injured. He was not shot. We believe it was shrapnel.
Investigators say the shooting took place about 20 minutes after 3 at Pryor Street and Fulton Street. The police blocked off the intersection to search for evidence. They say the victim's SUV kept driving, getting a few hundred yards, turning onto the interstate to seek safety before pulling over. Police confirmed the couple had just left Magic City after closing. They don't know if the shooter followed them from the famous strip club about a mile away.
I'm not exactly sure if the incident stemmed from Magic City, but they were leaving that area.
Police have not released a description yet of a possible suspect they're still searching for or what vehicle they may have been in, but we'll bring you any updates on the victim's condition and search for the shooter as we get it on Channel 2 Action News beginning at 4 p.m. In downtown Atlanta, Steve Gelbach, Channel 2 Action
On April
News.
3rd, 2023, Cameron and her boyfriend Brandon took a short trip to Atlanta, Georgia. A break from work, a chance to visit friends, a chance to enjoy the city. Atlanta's nightlife is famous. The music, the energy, the food, the streets are always live until the early morning hours. For Cameron, this wasn't reckless. This was a normal trip, a young couple just trying to make memories. That night, they went to Magic City, an Atlanta landmark with cultural status that goes far beyond just the venue. If you know Atlanta, you've heard the name. It's been referenced in songs, visited by celebrities, and packed until sunrise. For Cameron and Brandon, it was simple: music, fun, and a good night out. By all accounts, the night was calm. No fights, no obvious conflicts, no reason to think anything dangerous was coming. Around 3 a.m., they decided to leave. That decision, to walk out at that exact time, would become the thin line between life and death.
Simply every parent's nightmare. A young woman shot to death in Atlanta. I'm Alan Devlin. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Tracy Hutchins. Well, Cameron Olivia Price, she was shot and killed Tuesday morning. Here's a picture of her. The 21-year-old was on vacation visiting from South Carolina. Atlanta News First, Amanda Rose spoke exclusively with her family. They are still grieving this unthinkable loss.
She didn't deserve to die like she did. No one deserves to die like that.
Parents Creighton and Jesse Price can't stop seeing their little girl.
Seeing your daughter laying in the hospital bed with her brains hanging out of her head. My God, that is a hard pill to swallow.
Police say Cameron Olivia Price was the passenger inside a car when she was shot in southwest Atlanta early Tuesday morning. Price died at the hospital. Her parents tell us the 21-year-old, who was a hairstylist from Chester, South Carolina, was in Atlanta visiting friends and a romantic partner who was driving the car at the time of the shooting. The two were leaving the strip club Magic City when shots were fired on Pryor Street.
They stopped and they noticed a car pulled up so close on the side, which was on Cameron's side, the passenger side, and they just started shooting.
Police say the driver was injured by flying glass and shrapnel, but he wasn't shot. He drove off with Price, ending up on I-75 North by the Memorial Drive exit.
Everybody loved Cameron. Everybody. I'm talking about everybody. I know it wasn't her that they were after.
Now her parents can't rest until they get answers.
I want to find out who did it and why. And I want justice to be served.
This still is an active investigation. If you have any information, you're urged to contact Atlanta Police. In Southwest Atlanta,
Near the
Amanda
Memorial
Rose,
Drive
Atlanta.
exit, law enforcement spotted the damage escalate and pulled Brandon over. When officers approached, they immediately understood what they were looking at. The vehicle looked like it had been through a war zone. They called for emergency medical services. Paramedics arrived immediately, finding Cameron in critical condition. They worked to stabilize her. They rushed her to Grady Memorial Trauma Unit, and the doctors and nurses immediately surrounded her, moving with a precision that only comes from years of seeing the worst nights of people's lives. But even with everything they could do, the injuries were catastrophic. While that was happening, in South Carolina, Cameron's parents received the phone call every parent fears. Their daughter had been shot. She was in critical condition. They drove the 4 hours to Atlanta, clinging to hope. The kind of hope that says, we just need to get there. She'll be okay. She has to be. But when they arrived, a detective met with them, and the truth landed like a collapse. Cameron didn't survive. After the shot came the question that didn't make sense. Why? Why Cameron? What did she do to anyone? Her father, Jesse, said what so many people would say in his position, that Cameron wasn't a person who moved through the world creating enemies. Her mother, Creighton, echoed the same truth. Everybody loved Cameron, which meant something else, something colder, was likely the truth. Cameron may not have been targeted at all. She may have simply been in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that possibility, that your life can be taken for no reason, is what makes this case so haunting. Detectives immediately began building a picture of Cameron's life, talking to family, friends, clients, anyone who knew her. Did she have disputes, threats, conflicts? The answer kept coming back the same. No. As time moved forward, days into weeks, weeks into months, the case grew cold to the public. But behind the scenes, something happened that would later become critical. In May of 2023, a man named Ja'Cory Eccles was pulled over during a traffic stop. During the stop, police discovered an unregistered handgun. That matters because Eccles had prior convictions and was not legally allowed to have a firearm. That gun led to serious consequences for him. But at the time, no one knew just how connected it would become. Later, while incarcerated, Eccles allegedly began talking, boasting. According to investigators, he spoke to another inmate about a shooting near Magic City. giving details that hadn't been released to the public. The inmate reported it, and detectives moved. They sent the handgun from the traffic stop for forensic testing, specifically ballistics. Ballistics is precise. Every firearm leaves a unique marking, a signature on bullets and shell casings like a fingerprint. When results came back, investigators said the gun matched the casings from the scene on Cameron's shooting. That was the moment the case changed. On November 8th, 2023, Eccles was arrested and charged in connection with Cameron's death. Even with an arrest, one question still haunted Cameron's family. Why? Why? Like, detectives searched for a connection between Cameron, Brandon, and Eccles. Mutual friends? Shared history? Anything? They found nothing. Cameron and Eccles were strangers. Then, surveillance footage from a nearby gas station captured a sequence of moments that would become the most disturbing part of the entire case. Investigators said the footage showed Eccles intoxicated, agitated, arguing with people he was with. Then Cameron and Brandon's Escalade drove past. Just a car, on a street, at night. Nothing about it should have mattered, but investigators say Eccles noticed it, turned to the people around him, and said, "Watch this." Then he got into the vehicle, followed them, and opened fire. From the moments the Escalade passed to the moments shots were fired, investigators said it was less than a minute. A decision made in seconds ended a life that took 21 years to build. This case spread because it touched a fear people don't like to name, that sometimes safety is an illusion. Cameron wasn't involved in crime. She wasn't looking for trouble. She wasn't in a fight. She was leaving a venue, getting in her car, going home. And the difference between her living and dying came down to timing. 2 minutes earlier, 2 minutes later, a different turn. It's painful because it doesn't teach you a lesson you can use. There's no easy, don't do this, don't go there, because what happened to Cameron wasn't personal. It was random. And that's why it hit so hard. In interviews, Cameron's parents described a kind of grief that doesn't just live in your mind, it lives in your body. The shock, the image, the disbelief. They didn't just lose a daughter, they lost the future they could see forming. The salon she wanted to open, the life she was building, the community was pouring into. And then there's the cruelty of it all, that someone else decided that future didn't matter. For Cameron's loved ones, time didn't heal. Time only created space where she should have been. Murder cases take time. Pre-trial hearings, evidence review, motions, witness coordinations. For families, it can feel unbearable, like you're living in a waiting room for months or years. Every hearing matters because the outcome has to be solid. It has to hold. And while the legal system moves at its own pace, Cameron's family showed up again and again. Because for them, this wasn't just about punishment. It was about truth, about acknowledging what was taken. After tragedy, some families collapse inward. Others reach outward because they have to do something with the grief. Cameron's parents chose purpose. They created the Cameron Olivia Foundation to continue the work Cameron was already doing in her community. Scholarships for cosmetology students, mentorship programs, and free prom styling. So teenagers who can't afford services still get to feel confident on the biggest night of their lives. Cameron did that quietly when she was live. Her family does it out loud now because her name deserves to be spoken. It would be easy to tell Cameron's story as a tragedy that begins and ends with gunfire, but that would miss the truth. Cameron's story began long before Atlanta. It began in a small town with a young woman who worked hard, treated people well, and built something from nothing. And even though her life was taken in a random act of violence, the life she lived still matters. But Cameron's impact wasn't in how she died, it was in how she showed up every day for other people. Cameron's case also forces a larger conversation about guns, impulse, and the culture of proving something. Investigators allege a decision was made in seconds for attention, for ego, for a moment of control. And that's hard to accept because it means someone could decide your life and is expendable without knowing you at all. That's what makes Watch This so disturbing. Just the words, but what they represent, a life treated like a demonstration. Cameron Olivia Price was 21, a licensed stylist, a business owner, a mentor, a sister, a daughter, a young woman who was building a future. Her death shook her family, and it shook people who didn't even know her because it reminded them of how fragile a normal life can be. But Cameron's name shouldn't be remembered only for tragedy. It should be remembered for everything she was before that night and for everything she gave to other people. 2 words changed everything, but those 2 words didn't erase her legacy because the world didn't lose a victim. The world lost Cameron. Okay, y'all. If y'all have made it this far, I just really want to show my appreciation and gratitude for sticking with me through my very first YouTube video. I know it was not pretty, but never mind that. I just wanted to make sure that I got Cameron's story out as best as I could. You do find me showing some of that emotion in my stories. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. That's just who I am. Um, yeah, and I just want to kind of like provide some guidance to some of you young ladies that are out here navigating the dating world. Like, this dating room is very dangerous. Like, and it's not just about dating, just going out, having fun. I know you want to live your life, but you have to be self-aware. You have to be aware of your surroundings. You just have to pay attention, especially in a city like Atlanta. Like, this happened. This type of story, unfortunately, is so common here. People come here to party, to have fun, and they end up losing their lives, losing everything they own, whatever it is, whatever they came down here with. Like, it's no joke. Like, there are guys, YNs, whatever you want to call them, they're out here and they're preying on you. They're looking for the people that are new here, that really don't know where to park when you go into these clubs, because certain parking lots you just cannot park in. You're not supposed to park in. Certain clubs you go to, you're not even supposed to drive. Like, it's just that deep. So they look for that. Like, your parking attendant, the person that's flagging you down to get you into this parking lot to park, to pay them, they're probably scamming. That's something so common. So this story is just very, very tragic. Like, I myself have experienced something almost similar to this, to where I lost my life, or I could have lost my son's life. Like, if you're familiar with this, just bear with me. I'm gonna go into this little story time. I'll make it real brief. But if you're familiar with Metro Atlanta, there's a city like outside of Decatur called Lithonia. And one of the famous exits of Lithonia is Panola Road. If you know about Panola Road, you know about the quick trip on Panola Road. If you really know about Atlanta, then back then, I don't know how it is now, but this happened to me back in 2019 actually. If you know anything about, no, this was 2020. Yeah, this was December 2020. If you know anything about the area, like, you're liable to get robbed, your car's liable to get stolen from that quick trip. And that's pretty much what happened to me. I had just got off work. I was bartending at the time. I had almost $1,000 on me. I had just read up, got some, had a good little amount. It was Christmas time, so like my son, I had just went to go pick up my son. I had whatever the new PlayStation was. I think it was the 3 or the 4 or something. I had that in the back, and he had just came back from my cousin's house, so he had his current PlayStation with him. So we all in the car. I pull up to the quick trip. Now I'm a person that pay attention, but I'm gonna be honest, I definitely was not paying attention. But I did notice some things that raised alarms. I just did not act as I should have. So when I pull up, okay, so you know how quick trip is, if you pulling up to the pump on the right, you got pumps on your left. So it was a charger at the pumps to the left of me. I'm at the right pump. So I get out, look at my pump, I go inside. Mind you, as I'm going inside, the charger pulls off. I don't pay attention to where they're going, but I paid attention to the people that was in the car. So when I get inside to go pay for my gas, I noticed the people that was in the car was now in the store. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. That's suspicious. I'm paying attention. So pay for my gas, go out. Now, that same charger is now on the opposite side of my pump. So they're to the right of me now. Now, I have a BMW, so I have the pump on this side. My driver's side is on the left. So I put the pump in the gas, in the thing. I'm pumping. I go sit in the car. This is where I fucked up. I get out the car, door wide open. As I'm getting out the car, I'm also noticing this charger then pulled out from the pump next to me, and now they're in front of me. But I'm thinking they just gonna keep going. No. So I pull out real quick to try to go get the pump out the car, leave my car door open. The charger swiftly parks back in the same spot that they were to the left of me. They're back to the left of me now. Little jump in my car. So I immediately see this. Mind you, my son is in the back. I don't think they see him. He was kind of small at that time. So I immediately run to the driver's seat. Mind you, I got a BMW. So the fob is in the car door. He fumbling and bumbling, trying to figure out how to start the car. He don't know how to start the car. He thinking it's supposed to be a key that you turn. So he fumbling and bumbling. I'm cussing. I'm like going off, like causing a scene. Now everybody looking, beating on my door. Darn near broke my hand. He finally he gets the car going and speeds off. Thank God, during the midst of all this, thank God, like, my son had the wherewithal and enough street knowledge to hop out the freaking car. So I didn't realize it at that time, though. So I'm paying attention to him driving off, the charger, him driving out. So I'm screaming, yelling, they got my car, my son in the car, help. So everybody come, you know what I'm saying? Everybody trying to help. So one dude, he hopping in the car, he following them. Couple cars hopped and followed. Then everybody coming up to me, asking what happened. At this point, I finally see my son. He come up to me. I'm like, oh my God, thank God. At that point, that's all I really gave a fuck about. But the story really got deeper, and I think I'm gonna save that story for another story time. But I just wanted y'all to see the story got super deep. Like y'all would not believe what happened. It got worse. I really just pray that who's ever's watching this, you gain the discernment that you need to live out your life in its full capacity without living in fear. I don't want to make these videos to instill fear in people. I just want to make people aware because, and it's not just indicative to Atlanta, it's not just specific to Atlanta, however you say it. Wherever you are, take precautions, learn your city. And when you go out and venture out into other cities, make sure you're 10 times more aware than what you usually are. You're in unknown territory. And Atlanta, we're we're in a civil war. Like, I'm just gonna call it what it is. Like, the YNs are taking over, whether it be robbing, domestic violence, spreading STDs. They're running rampant. YBs and YNs, they're out of control, baby. And it's only getting worse. And I'm praying for all of my young people out here just trying to do the right thing. Just continue to do the right thing, and you'll find your blessings. Your blessings will find you. Your angels will guide you. And I'm just gonna end it right here. This was fun. This took me a long time to get this done, so I'm super happy that I finally got this done. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you made it this far, drop a black heart in the comments. Cause my tribe, we gonna be the lovers, okay? So let me just tell y'all this. Even though this is a true crime channel, true crime, we not gonna box me in, okay? I can't be boxed in, and I'm gonna keep saying that. We're gonna get this algorithm popping, but the content is gonna go all types of places. Like, it's gonna go as far as my experience goes. And when I tell you I have experiences from the paranormal, from domestic violence, from parenting, from college, from traveling overseas, like Catholicism, like all conspiracies, alien, like whatever. I'm telling you, I done experienced some things, and I'm gonna touch on some topics, and I'm gonna bring y'all into my world. And I just hope I find my lovers and friends that's for me. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna continue to spread this love. I'm gonna get my intro and my outro together, but y'all just work with me. Thank y'all. And yeah, stay tuned.